All right, everybody, welcome back to the Care Bear Fantasy Football League podcast. We have officially made it back to football season. Week 1 just wrapped up on Monday night, and today we have the first episode of our podcast. First official episode last week was Week 0. Little preface it to what's going to be going down. Today we're going to run through the games of the NFL season real quick. Then after that, we're going to run through our matchups. Obviously, Week 1, 6 winners, 6 losers. We'll go through our number 1 team on the week and our last place team of the week, the Shit King. Then before we move on to next week, we're going to go to our league board. A couple messages from the guys after Week 1. Then a little quick injury news before the upcoming week, and we'll run through next week's games and our matchups as well. So starting out, talking just NFL. Thursday night, the Lions beat the Chiefs 21-20. Clearly stating they're the best team in the NFL. They had no additional help from players on the Chiefs roster or anything like that. It was just a all-out beatdown by the Lions. Chiefs weren't missing anyone important. It was just they're better. Dan Campbell has massive balls. Then Sunday morning we let off, got Falcons, Panthers, 2 pretty much rookie quarterbacks. I'd call Desmond Ridder a rookie. He didn't play much. But Mustache Man Arthur Smith coaching up football like it's the 1950s, just pounding the rock. Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier led them to a 24-10 win. Then you got the Ravens limping to a 25-9 win over the Texans. C.J. Stroud looked all right for a rookie. Didn't look great. Didn't look terrible. Lamar looks bad. He got paid. He looks bad. And even worse for the Ravens, I.R. Dobbins, or J.K. Dobbins as you know him, tore his Achilles. Another season-ending injury for him. Hope the best for that guy. His career probably over as a running back. 2 season-ending injuries looks tough. Then in the Battle of Ohio, the Browns embarrassed the Bengals 24-3. Jim Schwartz and that defense looks mean. They made the entire Bengals star-studded offense just not show up to play. Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, all of them. Where were they? Those guys did nothing. Then Jags beat the Colts 31-20. Anthony Richardson, out of the 3 rookie first-round QBs, looked like the best of the 3. Pretty solid. Had 1 bad pick, but looks good. Just needs to not get cracked at the goal line. And also, Calvin Ridley and Trevor Lawrence look dangerous. Then Baker in his new home, the Buccaneers shocked everyone, beating the NFC North champions from last year, 20-17. Vikings doubled the yardage in this game for the Bucs, but 3 turnovers to 0. Can't do much in that one. Can't really win with a bad turnover ratio. Then we got the Saints beating the Titans 16-15. This game was a snooze fest. I don't got much to say. I didn't really watch it. Jamal Williams, maybe. Ryan Tannehill sucks. Whatever. Snooze fest game. Irrelevant teams. The 49ers are back. NFC championship team last year. They didn't win, but they were there. They beat the Steelers up 30-7. Brock Purdy looks just as good as he did last year to end the year. And this whole roster, offense to defense, just looks really good. As for the Steelers, all that preseason hype is gone. Then you got the Commanders barely beating the Cardinals 20-16. Josh Dobbs and that Cardinals defense almost ruining the tank for Caleb Williams season week 1. That would have been rough. As for the Commanders, Sam Howell, QB of the future? Maybe, might be. Barely beat the Cardinals, though. That's rough. Moving on to the afternoon, we saw the same old Bears still looking rough on offense, still looking rough on defense. They lost to the Packers 38-20. Packers moved from one franchise QB to the next. Jordan Love, 15 years to come, just going to be dominating the Bears. As for the Bears, Luke Getsky, maybe try not throwing screen passes. Justin Fields had 3 passes of more than 10 yards. That's something to maybe change. Then Vegas beat Denver 17-16. Russ looked a little better. He threw 2 touchdowns. Doesn't look like last year, but Sean Payton is still teaching that guy how to cook. Need a couple more points. 16 just doesn't cut it in the NFL. The Patriots, after a slow start, almost beat the Eagles, Super Bowl runner-up last year. They were 1 toe away from being first down and just a couple yards ago from winning that game. But the Eagles won 25-20. They look rusty. They look slow. They look bad. Not good. Mac Jones, he doesn't look too bad with Bill O'Brien threw like 50 balls. looked good. Might be some competition in the AFC East. Probably not, though. Then we got the game of the week. The Dolphins, 36, Chargers, 34. 70 points in this game. Blew the over-under out of the water. Tua looked great. He had 400 yards, 460. Tyreek looked great. He had 200 yards. Herbert looked good. The Chargers' run game looked good. I don't know if it's good or if it's just the Dolphins, because there's no way Austin Eckler is running like that. That guy is a bona fide receiver in the backfield. This game was awesome. Just back and forth, awesome game. I just got to wonder, why is Staley playing man coverage against the two fastest receivers in the league? Seems like a coaching error to me. I don't know, especially with all those big-name all-pros on that defense. I'm not shading the Dolphins or Tyreek or Mike McDaniel or Tua or anything, but, maybe play zone when you don't have anyone on the defense that can keep up with those two receivers. That's kind of stupid. Then, in a shocker, the Rams, Matt Stafford is back, 30-13 against the Seahawks. Stafford has a new Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua. That guy had like 15 targets. And meanwhile, Seahawks look slow, look bad, don't look good. Geno Smith is writing back after last year. Not writing back. He is finally getting back to him. Then Sunday night, massacre, boring. This game sucked. As a fan, I don't want to see this. It's like college football. Cowboys win 40-0 over the New York Football Giants. It wasn't even a good 40 either. Dak wasn't airing the ball out. Tony Pollard wasn't getting big runs. This was a defense and special teams game. This game stunk for a Sunday night game. Danny Dimes was getting murdered. Micah Parsons was back there just torturing him all game. And then they kept Danny Dimes in the game till the last drive of the game. That's ridiculous. Get the guy out. You just paid him. You're going to get him killed out there. Then staying in New York for Monday night, or actually New Jersey, because that's where those stadiums are. We had one of, if not the worst, 9/11s in New York history. Aaron Rodgers, brand new Jets QB, 4 snaps, and he tore his Achilles. We're going to take a drink for that, man. Hate to see it. That was the big offseason story of this year. Aaron Rodgers and that Jets team that was looking primed for a Super Bowl run. They are now back to Zach Wilson, the man who got benched twice last year for Joe Flacco and Mike White. We'll see how they can do the rest of the year. But the rest of that game, Zach Wilson did end up beating the Bills 22-16. Was it really him? I don't know. The game-winning touchdown was a punt return. And that defense. Was it the defense or was it just Josh Allen being Josh Allen? He looks ready. Postseason form, 3 picks, 1 fumble. Josh Allen, elite quarterback right there. But the Jets win. Can they keep it up? Who knows? Then moving on to our fantasy league. Matchups this week. I played Jews. I won that match 122.6 to 89.9. That was this week's blowout, a score difference of 32.7. With Tony Pollard, Bijan Robinson, and Deshaun Watson, they all scored over 20, while Jews didn't have a single player get past 15. That's a tough way. You are not going to win games like that. Then Devin, got to give you an apology. Week 0, we called it EKS. We get it now. X, gonna give it to you. We're talking about Austin Eckler, baby. He beat Bailey 106.1 to 94.4. That's a big win for Devin. He somehow pulled this out, even though he had 2 players put up 0 points. But with Austin Eckler and Calvin Ridley putting up a combined 50, it was too much for Bailey, who he also had 2 players put up 0. He got carried by Tyreek Hill. If it wasn't for him, that guy was putting up a 50 ball this week. That would have been tragic to see. Then our matchup of the week, the Andrew Showdown. We got Big Andrew versus Little Andrew. Little Andrew won this one, 132.9 to 128.6. This was also our closest matchup of the week, just a differential of 4 points there, 4.3 to be exact. After the noon and the afternoon games, this one looked locked as Andy had a 25-point lead with Josh Allen left. And all Andrew had left was the Cowboys defense on Sunday night. But boy, oh boy, let me tell you, it was a rough game here. Sunday night. Hate to see it. We had talks about it before the year. Kickers and defense, where are we going to play them, where are we not going to play them. Nearly an all-time performance by the Cowboys. The record is the Seahawks. Back during the Legion of Boom time, they had 43 points. Cowboys, Sunday night, put up 40. That is crazy. Andrew shot up to 132. And on Monday night, Josh Allen could have still won the game for Andy, as he was only down about, 16 points? Seems pretty reasonable for a QB that was taken as one of the top 3 guys, but he sucked. 4 turnovers, as we said earlier. He only put up 12 points, and Andrew ended up winning that one. Then we had Tommy versus Ryan, 102.7 to 77.8 in favor of Tommy, who nearly every roster spot for that guy had double digits. Consistent across the board, just good, solid play. While Ryan had 3 guys put up 2 points or less, not good. Then moving on, Anthony had 128.5 to Corey's 107.7. Just big games all around for Ant's roster. Looked solid. Najee Harris, not so much, but he did play the Niners defense, so that is a hard one to go up against. While Corey, same way as Tommy before, whole team just solid all around. You know, most of the guys double digits, but he just played a better opponent. He did not get the luck of playing someone who just didn't put up that many points this week. And then lastly, kind of a shitty matchup here. 2 guys who didn't get in triple digits. Paul beat Reggie 98.2 to 75.1, and that makes Reggie this week's shit king. He had duds every position. His top scorer was Breece Hall, who was on a snap count, so that doesn't add up too well. Doesn't look good. And meanwhile, Paul squeaked out that victory. He was led by his kicker and defense, who combined put up 40. Without those 2 guys, he's putting up 50 points. But, it is what it is. This week's best lineup, let's talk about it. Tua Tagovailoa was this week's QB1, 28.1 points for him. And he was on Ryan's bench. Get him off the pine. Aaron Jones, RB1, 26.7 for Andy. Austin Eckler, RB2, 26.4 for Devin. Tyreek Hill, receiver 1 with 44.5. That is a big one for him. That was for Bailey. It did come in a losing effort, though, as the rest of his team was duds. Brandon Ayuk at receiver 2 with 32.9. He sat on Juice's bench. Tragic. Hate to see it. 30 points on the bench is rough. Jacoby Myers was the best flex option, barring those 4 guys. He had 29.1, and he also was on the bench for Andrew. And then Hunter Henry, tight end 1 this week. Hunter Henry. Where were the big names this week? Travis Kelce was out. Mark Andrews was out. Darren Waller was playing hurt. TJ Hawkinson just didn't show up. And I think George Kittle played hurt too. Hunter Henry had 19.1. And this guy isn't on a roster. Someone get out there. Someone sign this guy. Jake Elliott was the top kicker with 17 for Paul. And lastly, like we said earlier, the Cowboys defense, 40 points. Nearly a record-setting fantasy performance from a defense. That would have been a combined score of 264. Happy to see no one put up those kind of stats because that would be a guaranteed win. But it's crazy to think 4 of these top guys either were on a bench or, like we said about Hunter Henry, on a waiver. Hate to see big points on the bench, but what are you going to do about it? Now let's take a quick look at our league board here. Bringing it back from last season. This is a fun one. Starting up, little Andrew said, I can last longer than Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, with the play clock, only lasted 42 seconds. Good for you, Andrew. That's a long time to go. Devin, this is a bit of a serious one, being as he is the A-Rod owner, or was, as he's already off the roster. He is willing to trade for a QB. Any of you guys with a QB sitting on the bench that might be solid, Devin is shopping. Help him out. Then Ant, we got quite a yapper here. Hold on. Shit, y'all slept on my first rounder, and yet Diggs helped me win the week. Could have had Tyreek, but my team gave me solid-ass production, so y'all just got to keep watching week by week. Quit yapping, bro. Damn, that long-ass message. Andy, I'm going to kill myself. Josh Allen is the most overrated quarterback in the NFL. As we said earlier, all he needed was 16 points. Couldn't get it. Tragic. Jews. My team fucking sucks, and J.K. Dobbins is cool as hell. You say that, but you did drop him from your roster. That is cold, man. Just put him on the IR spot. He can sit. Reggie said, I'm going to let my players send messages this week. That is bold coming from this week. Shit King only put up 75 like we said earlier, but love to see it. Let's see the confidence. Let's see the play come out. Tommy, this guy loves his messages. Hot, spicy poop boner. Yes, sir. And Corey said, Jalen Hurts is nothing but a disappointment, and A-Rod is a pussy. Corey, you might want to talk to Devin about that one. He's in the market for a QB, and sounds like you do not want Jalen Hurts anymore. Maybe you guys can make a trade, see something happen. Now, quick injury report as we head into week 2, but these videos are recorded on Wednesday, so a lot of these guys could be taken off the IL. Some guys could be added on. Just keep updated. Keep watching your rosters. Jacoby Myers, questionable. Freiermuth, questionable. Kenny Gainwell out for Thursday night. Deontay Johnson is doubtful. Could be out up to 4 to 6 weeks, they said. Eckler is questionable. Darren Waller is questionable. Dalton Schultz is questionable. Christian Watson, Jalen Waddle, Travis Kelce, Aaron Jones, Brandon Cooks, Jerry Jeudy, all questionable. Mostert, D-Hop, James Conner, Devontae Adams, Mark Andrews, Greg Dulcich, Romeo Doubs, and Breece Hall. All those guys, questionable. So it could just be they missed a practice here or there, but for one reason or another, they did miss a practice, meaning they're dealing with something. Now, all these guys named are on rosters. I'm not naming injured players who are just sitting out in the waivers because why are we worrying about them? If you heard one of your guys' names, just keep an eye out on them. Never know. Come Sunday, they might need to be subbed out of your lineup. And then let's move on. Looking into next week, let's take a look at the NFL. Tomorrow night, Vikings are going to Philly to play the Eagles. Eagles favorites 6.5 points. Should be a fun one. Last year, week 2, Eagles-Vikings played, and that was a beatdown. We'll see how it goes this year, as the Eagles did look rusty, and the Vikings lost to the Bucs. So, and we got Bears at Bucs, -2.5 for the Bucs there. Chargers -3 at the Titans. Chiefs -3.5 at the Jags. Chris Jones is back. Travis Kelce should be back. Colts -1 at the Texans. Little rookie showdown right there. Like seeing that AFC South matchup as well. Packers -1 at the Falcons. The Raiders at the Bills. The Bills, even though they looked awful on offense Monday night, they are 8.5-point favorites. Ravens at the Bengals, -3.5 for the Bengals there, even though Sunday they looked awful. Seahawks at the Lions. Lions, 5.5-point favorites. Love seeing that. Can they turn it around after just years of miserable times for Detroit fans? Coming in the afternoon slate, the Niners, 7.5-point favorites at the Rams. Giants, 5.5-point favorites at the Cardinals. I understand they're playing the Cardinals, but 5.5-point favorites after what happened Sunday night? I don't know. Might have to bet on Josh Dobbs in that one. Commanders at the Broncos. Broncos 3.5-point favorites. Jets at the Cowboys with Zach Wilson at the helm. Cowboys are favorited 9.5 points. Might have to lock in on that one, but that Jets defense is scary. It might just be a turnover night all night long. 2 top defenses going up against 2 mediocre to below mediocre quarterbacks. Sunday night should be a good game. Got the Dolphins only -3 against the Patriots. Patriots defense did look extremely solid against the Eagles, but who knows if that was the Patriots defense or the Eagles just being bad. Only -3 for a team that put up 36 points in week 1 when offenses tend to start slow. Then Monday night we got a doubleheader. Saints -3 at the Panthers and the Browns -2 at the Steelers. Lots of good games to look forward to. Lots of division matchups. Can't wait to see it. And then moving on to our league, 1-0 Craig is playing 0-1 Andy. These are 2 top 4 scorers from this past week. Andy, hate to see it. He was the second highest scorer in the league, and he lost. Just that's how matchups go sometimes. What are you going to do about it? Devin, 1-0, going up against Shit King Reggie, 0-1. Andrew, top scorer from the week, 1-0, obviously, going up against 0-1 Jews. And then we got Bailey, 0-1, going up against 1-0 Paul. Then we got 2 losers, Ryan versus Corey. Both of them lost week 1. And 2 week 1 winners, Anthony versus Tommy. That's all I got for today. I'll see you guys next week. Hopefully we get some good football this week. See ya.